Functional shifting is a literary term, and it occurs, according to Curzon and Adams, when a word formed employs in one lexical category moves to another category. So in more common terms, it's really when a word is going to move from one category to another, like a verb moving to a noun or a noun to a verb. Words subscribe to two different classes, being part of either the closed morphological class or the open morphological class. So the closed morphological class is going to contain words which are not going to have any new additions very often. Some examples of these in that closed morphological class are going to be things like prepositions or determiners. A preposition being of, in, or on, a determiner like the or a. Now within the open morphological class, that is more open to the demands of society, and it's going to expand to include newly formed words. And generally this is the area where we see the most changes. Functional shifting is one way in which words are formed and added to open morphological classes. So according to the Among New Words, Barnhart's Dictionary of New English since 1963, and Longman's Register of New Words, functional shifting is the fourth most frequent method of creating words. Notice that there are different terms on here. For instance, compounding or combining is actually combining different word parts to create something new. We have shifting, which is our functional shifting, which we've already discussed. We have shortening. Shortening is when we're going to make a word or a phrase or even shorter, and this is going to happen through clipping, alphabetism, back formation, even acronymy. Then we have blending. This is where we're going to take two words and put them together. However, it's not compounding because we're not combining two different words or the whole words. We're actually taking pieces of them. And another way in which we do this is borrowing, or where we borrow a word from somewhere else. So common methods of functional shifting include the noun and a verb. So we're going to take a noun, we're going to change it to a verb. An example of that is email. We started off with electronic mail, we made it shorter by making it email, and then we made it a verb by saying, I will email that to you. Another example is an adjective to a verb, such as empty. We have taken it and made it a verb. We have adjective to a noun. So we're going to say he was rich, and now we've made him the rich. We also have a verb to a noun in an example such as double click, where we've said double click this, you need to double click it. We've made it a noun at this point. Functional shifting really occurs very naturally through our everyday language, and it's often used without any thinking. So we're going to look at an example. This was provided by Grammarly, and it was in an article called The Basics of Verbing Nouns. We're going to enter into a business meeting, and in this business meeting, we may hear things like, we're all set, but we need to table that topic for the next time. We've now used the noun table and made it into what? A verb, correct? And the same thing might happen with let's calendar that. So we're going to calendar it. We have now made calendar, the noun, into a verb. Other things may be to prioritize this topic, action a topic, fast track a project, but not without workshopping it, beef it up. There's no way to task anyone without approval. All of these are great examples of how we have changed a noun and made it into a verb. Some other common words that we've experienced or we see that functional shift include things like chair, cup, divorce. What about salted, sleep, train, even voice, or even a favorite one, metal? Functional shifting is actually more commonly known as verbing or nouning. So verbing means to verb a noun means to use an ordinary noun as a verb in a sentence, while nouning is the change of a verb into a noun. Another functional shift is the use of a proper name. This is where we're going to actually take a name and use it in a new way, or use it as a noun or maybe a verb. So often surname-inspired verbs are going to expire with their namesake. However, this did not happen when we look at the late Captain Charles Boycott. So we continue to boycott without much thought to him. He, however, was a 19th century Irish land manager, and he shunned in his community for evicting farmers from their home. Can you think of some other examples? There are some that we use every day. Do you use a tissue or do you use a Kleenex? How about a Xerox? Or do you copy something? Functional shifting is noted throughout history. Shakespeare, about 1595, used verbing when he wrote Richard II. He said, "Grace me no grace, nor uncle me no uncle." Shakespeare was a virtuoso when it came to verbing. Functional shifting creates the ability to transmit an idea with precision and to enrich our communication skills. Additionally, researchers have discovered that functional shifting allows the brain to understand what a word means before it understands the function of the word within a sentence. This process causes a sudden peak in brain activity and forces the brain to work backwards. So then, all that really remains is the question: should you verb or should you noun?